Assalamu alaikum. This is Prapunti Chakraborty welcoming you to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Sheikh Hasina and Asaduzaman Khan Khobor orders law enforcement agencies to use lethal weapons against students and mass people, testifies former IG Chaudhry Abdullah Al-Mamun. Bangladesh to officially graduate from LDCs to developing country in November 2026. NCTB introducing unprecedented monitoring system in new academic year to improve textbook quality and curb irregularities. Government taking initiatives for year-long caregiver training through Japanese trainers, says health advisor. Another 6.2 quake hits Afghanistan as death toll continues rising. And Lionel Messi's brace helps Argentina 3-0 victory over Venezuela in World Cup qualifier at Monumental Stadium. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Former Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al-Mamun has apologized in court, admitting responsibility for the genocide committed during the July uprising. Testifying as a state witness before the International Crimes Tribunal, he stated that on the direct orders of fascist Sheikh Hasina and the Minister Asaduzaman Khan Khobor, the police and law enforcement agencies used lethal weapons against students and the public. In his testimony, he sought forgiveness from the families of the victims, the injured, and the entire nation. Analysts note that during the tenure of the fallen government, the police were exploited for partisan interest to such an extent that ethical considerations were completely disregarded. In his disposition, Mamun also described in detail the vote-rigging strategies of the Awami League, explaining how election results were manipulated during the police office. He further told the tribunal that the use of helicopters, drones, and lethal weapons to suppress the movement was a political decision of the government. Mamun, one of the accused in the case, voluntarily applied to become a state witness, and upon the tribunal's approval, he has been giving detailed testimony on the July massacre. Bangladesh will officially graduate from the list of least developed countries to the status of a developing nation in November 2026. Existing from the LDC category will put Bangladesh's export sector under big pressure as duty-free export facilities will end. As a least developed country, Bangladesh has been enjoying duty-free access from the World Trade Organization and the European Union. Besides, under regional and bilateral agreements, Bangladesh has also been receiving duty-free export facilities to countries like China and India. Business leaders said that after graduation, the pharmaceutical industry could face major challenges. Intellectual property regulations in the pharmaceutical sector will become stricter, which may push up medicine prices. At the same time, the ready-made garment sector will also be affected. Mentioning that the export sector will face significant challenges after the graduation, Export said that the timely preparation is essential to tackle the economic challenges of the post-LDC era. Skilled human resources are crucial for overcoming the challenges of becoming a developing country. For this, the government will need to take various measures to equip the young generation not only with general education but also with technical and technological knowledge. Besides, analysts have emphasized the need to create new markets and to diversify products rather than relying on a single product. National Curriculum and Textbook Board (NCTB) is introducing an unprecedented monitoring system from the new academic year to improve the quality of textbook and curb irregularities. Not just printing standards, but also paper quality, eye safety, and overall supervision are undergoing major reforms. Starting from the next academic year, every printed form will be required to mention which printing press produced the book. This will make it easy to identify the responsible press if any quality issues arise after distribution. In addition, several measures have been taken to improve both paper and print quality. CCTV cameras will be installed in every press to monitor the printing process, while paper quality will be tested in dual laboratories. As a result, students will receive higher quality books on time in the new academic year, hoped the NCTB. Meanwhile, NCTB's chairman dismissed media reports that the government has decided to call for international tenders to print the books. Health advisor Noorjahan Begum said there is a huge demand for nurses both at home and abroad. Government and private hospitals need to produce skilled nurses for this purpose. She said this during a visit to Chattogram Shishu Hospital and a meeting with the concerned officials today. The health advisor said the government is taking initiatives for a year-long caregiver training through Japanese trainers. She said private hospitals in Chattogram are playing a role in health services. Chattogram Divisional Director of the Directorate of Health, Sheikh Fozle Rabbi, Joint General Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Muhammad Munjirul Islam, Civil Surgeon Dr. Muhammad Jahangir Alam, Deputy Civil Surgeon Dr. Tawhidul Islam, President of the Board of Directors of Chattogram Shishu Hospital, SM Morshid Hussain, Vice President Abdul Mannan Rana, and other concerned persons were present on the occasion. Later, the health advisor visited various wards of the hospital. Mohin Sarkar, the General Secretary candidate from the Interrogated Student Union panel in the DU-CSU election, has extended his support to Abu Bakr Mojumdar, the GS candidate of the Anti-Discrimination Student Union panel. Mohin Sarkar urged his supporters to vote for Abu Bakr. He is also a former coordinator of the anti-discrimination student movement. He made the announcement at an emergency press conference this afternoon. Bangladesh has sent emergency relief assistance for the victims of the devastating earthquake in Afghanistan. In the morning, a Bangladesh Air Force transport aircraft departed for Kabul, capital of Afghanistan, carrying emergency relief supplies. The 11.27 tons of relief items included tents, blankets, winter clothes, drinking water, dry food, clothing, biscuits, milk powder, noodles, and medicines. After handing over the relief materials, the transport aircraft is scheduled to return to Bangladesh today. At a press briefing, Brigadier General Muhammad Alimul Amin, Director General of Operations and Planning at the Armed Forces Division, shared these details. Senior officials from the Armed Forces Division and the Air Force, representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and members of various media outlets were present on the occasion. Now, international news. A powerful earthquake has struck Afghanistan once again on Thursday at around 10 a.m. local time. The German Research Center for Geoscience reported and recorded the quake at a magnitude of 6.2 in the country's southeast. This marks the third major earthquake in the region within just 4 days. On Sunday, the first quake measuring 6 magnitude caused widespread devastation, described as one of the deadliest in recent years. That day, many villages in Kunar and Nangarhar provinces were reduced to rubble. On Tuesday, another 5.5 magnitude tremor struck, further disrupting rescue operations. The death toll continues to rise. The Taliban administration reported that so far 2,205 people have been confirmed dead, while at least 3,640 others have been injured. According to the United Nations, the death toll is expected to climb further as many people remain trapped under the debris. Rescue operations are still ongoing in the mountainous and hard-to-reach areas. Government figures show that more than 6,700 homes have been completely destroyed. The International Red Cross and Red Crescent Society estimates that a total of 84,000 people have been directly or indirectly affected. The United Nations, the World Health Organization (WHO), and the World Food Program (WFP) have warned of one of the severe crises involving shortages of food, medicine, and shelter. The WHO has stated that there is currently a shortfall of at least $3 million to supply urgent medical aid. Israeli forces carried out intensified attacks across the Gaza Strip on Thursday, killing at least 75 Palestinians, including 44 people in Gaza City alone and 14 aid seekers in central and southern Gaza. The assault has continued over recent hours with several deadly strikes on Gaza City, killing at least 18 people, including 7 children. Israel's army has expanded his assault on residential homes and displacement camps in Gaza City, claiming it now controls 40% of the Strip's main urban center. Israeli Brigadier General Efi Defrin warned that Israel's military operation will continue to expand and intensify in the coming days. Doctors Without Borders (MSF) has warned that Palestinians face the risk of ethnic cleansing in the occupied West Bank as Israeli army and shelter attacks continue to forcibly displace thousands of residents. Meanwhile, the first day of a 2-day Gaza tribunal event examining the United Kingdom's role in Israel's attack on Gaza, hosted by former Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn, has warmed up. Labour MP Richard Burgon said that he plans to introduce a sanctions on Israel bill in Parliament next week. Since the start of the attack in October 2023, at least 64,231 people have been killed and 1,61,583 wounded across Gaza. 26 Western allies have formally committed to developing and deploying troops by land, sea, or air to Ukraine the day after a ceasefire deal is agreed, Emmanuel Macron has said. After a summit of 35 countries dubbed the Coalition of Willing, the French president said U.S. support for their reassurance force would be finalized in the coming days. President Donald Trump recently indicated that U.S. backing could probably come in the form of air support, and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky said he had spoken to the U.S. president about maximum protection for Ukraine's skies. However, hopes of a deal to end the fighting have dimmed since Russia's Vladimir Putin met Trump in Alaska last month.